A lot of people get nervous about removing the fender from a Ford F-150. I get it. Cars look complicated when every piece seems married to the next, with some weird kind of industrial loyalty. But the process is more about patience than genius. First step, pop the hood and disconnect the battery. I know. What does any of this have to do with fenders? But trust me, you do not want any electrical mishaps when you start fiddling with hardware near the lights or sensors. One loose wire and suddenly you're investigating a headlamp that only works on Tuesdays. Now, start with the wheel. You need access, which means removing that wheel. It's about 10 lug nuts, nothing fancy. Yes, it's annoying, but your arms will get a free workout. Pro tip: use a breaker bar if those lug nuts are stuck, and always do this on level ground so your truck doesn't pull an unexpected two-step. After the wheel's off, take a really good look at the inner fender liner. That thing is held in by a grab bag of screws, plastic clips, and probably a little bit of hope. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead, and maybe a trim removal tool. Don't force anything. These plastic clips snap if you even look at them wrong. From here, it's about letting the fender liner fall away with grace, not force. Just ease it down and let it dangle out of the way. If you want to be particular, toss the screws in a labeled baggie. Pro tip: people lose hardware in record-setting time during fender jobs. You'll finally see a long row of bolts connecting the fender to the body, some along the top edge next to the engine bay, some hidden behind the headlight, a few lurking under the hood hinge like they're in witness protection. Remove them methodically, or you'll spend half an hour figuring out which one you already unscrewed. Here's the trickiest, least favorite part for most: the bolts hiding behind the front bumper and headlight. These can be a pain, especially on older F-150s where rust really wants to be center stage. Spray those bad boys with some penetrating oil. Wait 10 minutes to avoid ugly language. Once you've coaxed the bolts out, it's time for the headlight. There are 2 or 3 bolts and a couple clips. The headlight wants out of the way for a clean fender exit. Set the light somewhere soft, not dangling from its wiring like it's auditioning for Cirque du Soleil. After all this prep, the fender is just about free. This is where people either start celebrating or swearing. Don't yank or pry. Wiggle it out carefully, watching for any wires, brackets, or decade-old mud packing itself into crevices nobody's cleaned since the Obama administration. Now, here's a pain point you might hit: those fender-to-cab bolts down at the bottom by the door. These are always grimy, sometimes corroded, and almost always out of sight. It might take blind faith and 3 socket extensions to get them, but once you do, freedom is near. With every bolt removed, the fender should finally lift away. If it's still hanging on like an ex who won't let go, double-check for hidden hardware. Ford engineers are tricky, and sometimes there's a random fastener that decides it wants to stay anonymous until the last minute. By the time you finish, you'll have the fender off and a pile of hardware and trim clips making you question your life choices. Pro tip: grab a roll of painter's tape and label everything, because "I'll just remember where this bolt goes" is the famous last lie of every DIYer. Once you've installed the new fender, reassemble everything in reverse. Celebrate with your favorite drink, or just stare at your handiwork for a bit. Statistically, the first time you do this will take twice as long as YouTube says, but after that, you'll wonder what all the fuss was about.